frontier, a physical or statutory line that separates one country from another. Behind each frontier, a town blooms. In Latin America today, there are almost 18,000 frontier towns. Their exponential growth is due to commercial exchange, whether legal or not. In most cases, they are tied to illicit trade. Smuggling, narcotics, weapons, and people. In each of these frontier towns, there are thousands of stories, people that risk a portion of their capital. Others are used by criminal organizations as part of large-scale smuggling. These are Latin American hot borders. The Friendship Bridge joins the city of Foz do Iguaçu in Brazil with Ciudad del Este in Paraguay. The commercial activity represents $2 billion to the Brazilian economy between legal and illegal trade. Every day, over 15,000 people pass through this crossing, and the buses are inspected daily. However, as intuition is a fundamental tool in order to find contraband, the help of trained dogs is useful when it comes to detect money or drugs. When a dog reacts to a package, the officer asks the passenger to descend. The dog does not stop signaling the presence of something amiss, and the man's answers are not lining up. They continue to search him until an officer manages to find an envelope hidden in the front of his pants.
Às vezes, o cachorro indica porque teve contato com algum tipo de droga ou foi usuário. A lei brasileira permite livre passe, até R$10.000.
Before confirming that the man is carrying a large sum of money without having declared it, the agents decide to inspect the trunk of the bus. The dog begins to sniff.
Veja se são essas aqui, porque o número está aqui, Thiago.
The luggage that belonged to the man is signaled as suspicious. They ask him to open the luggage to see inside.
São as tuas, então.
Will the suspect complicate things? The Gulf of Uraba is the southernmost natural border of the Caribbean Sea. Located between Panama and Colombia, its waters transport more than $1.5 billion in activity every year. The Colombian Navy patrols its coast to stop contraband of any scale from Panama, where a free trade area exempt from taxes allows for merchandise to be up to 50% off, cheaper than in the rest of Latin America. The captain spots a suspicious fishing boat and sounds the alarm for the boat to stop and be boarded. The crew obeys, knowing that if they do not comply, the Navy will open fire, sinking them.
¿De dónde zarpaste?
¿Hacia dónde te diriges?
Iba a pescar por ahí por Matutú.
¿Pescan con las redes?
Sí.
El piloto de la embarcación no portaba la licencia de navegación, no portaba un documento de propiedad de la embarcación, portaba era un papel de compraventa, que eso es un papel que no está reglamentado. Aparte de las redes, ¿qué más llevan en la embarcación?
Pescado.
Pescado. Déjame ver el pescado.
The crew claims to be only bringing fish. The boat is searched and they will find the crew to be telling the truth.
Normalmente ellos no van a llevar el ilícito a simple vista. Ellos cuando están haciendo algo ilícito, transportan alguna mercancía, ellos la ocultan en doble fondos, la ocultan debajo de mercancía, puede ser legal. Quita la red. ¿Qué estás transportando?
Es una bebida.
Unas bebidas. ¿Qué es? ¿Gaseosa, licor?
Licor.
Licor. ¿Cuánto estás transportando?
10 paquetes.
10. ¿Tú tienes algún manifiesto de carga?
No.
La fachada de ellos eran pescadores, venían de una faena de pesca, se dirigían hacia un punto a pescar, pero pues verificando la embarcación estaban haciendo otra actividad, transportando una mercancía no legal.
De whisky.
No tiene ningún documento de la mercancía.
The majority of ant smuggling is done by fishermen who have lost their jobs or that feel that the extra income helps due to their low wages.
Capitán, su embarcación va a ser conducida a la estación de guardacostas de Uraba. Vamos a verificar la situación de la mercancía que transporta, la situación de la documentación. Creo que usted no está aportando una orden de zarpe, no tiene una licencia de navegación válida.
Because the contraband does not exceed $12,000, the crew is let go after paying a $200 fine. But all of the merchandise is seized.
La DIAN inicia su procedimiento, realiza el papeleo. Ese material nosotros ponemos a disposición a ellos, ya que ellos son la entidad competente para todo lo que tiene que ver con contrabando. ¿Listo? 10 cajas de mercancía de contrabando.
Terminamos de realizar el acta de aprehensión, hacemos una notificación personal y la llevamos al depósito. De ahí pasa un proceso de destrucción.
Border between Brazil and Paraguay. The customs agents have found a suspect with the help of a canine. After finding a large sum of undeclared cash, they searched his luggage too, where the dog also alerted to something inside.
Essas duas são tuas?
Under the nervous watch of the suspect, the customs agent inspects the inside of the luggage in search of what alerted the canine. He retrieves a sealed package.
Acessórios para celular, telas. E ele mesmo falou, né? Você trabalha com assistência técnica de celulares. Aí é comum levar daqui do Paraguai para conserto de celulares.
He was trying to cross with a small amount of cell phone parts and accessories without paying the proper taxes.
Agora fica aqui e é feito a retenção na mercadoria.
While they finish taking the merchandise to the customs office, the passengers aboard the bus suffer as they have been waiting for over 5 hours.
A Agência Nacional de Transporte Terrestre, ele diz que eu não posso deixar nenhum passageiro. Um passageiro está errado e complicando a vida de 31 que podiam estar praticamente 1/3 da viagem completada.
The products that were not declared will be held, and so will the money in excess of the 10,000 reales that are not permitted to enter by law.
A princípio não. Vou tentar descobrir, dar uma conversada com o pessoal aqui para ver como é que faz para readmitir a mercadoria. Essa é a primeira vez que eu venho e tipo, acabou acontecendo isso aí, não sei se eu vou voltar não.
The suspect is allowed to continue on his way, and he looks much calmer after buying a refreshment before he continues the journey. However, his infraction is noted, and the next time he tries to smuggle something, he will be detained. Colombia and Venezuela share an extensive border that is 2,219 kilometers long. The most important border crossing is in Cúcuta in Colombia. The stories that come from the Venezuelan part of the border are ones like this, where a man is desperate for any money he can find. He has been picking metal cans from sodas to sell them in Colombia for money.
Oye, hermano, me llama a regresar porque uno está buscando la comida y nada, y ni mire, la lucha uno venezolano para comprar la comida, porque como está la crisis en San Cristóbal, que no hay nada, puro aluminio, miren, no hay como pura lata. Miren, aluminio. De una manera tiene que pasarse, papá.
¿Qué pasa con eso? Nada de chatarra, nada de aluminios, nada de cobre. Pueden estar pasando por aquí, igual que los cárnicos, ¿sí?
Yo tengo 3 hijos. Me pasa la muerta que me pare ahorita, nada. Guarda, imagínese usted, luchando por aquí, mire.
Sí, eso es lo que yo quiero que me entienda. Yo sé que la situación está difícil para todos los venezolanos y también para alguna parte de los colombianos.
Tengo que revolucionar la comida, hay que me está esperando los 3 carajitos en la casa. ¿Sabes cómo es la crisis, papá?
Entiendo que este es nuestro trabajo, así como usted tiene que buscar su trabajo con eso, nosotros también tenemos que poner aquí el orden. ¿Listo, corazón? Espero que me entienda eso y que por favor se devuelva, ¿vale? Muchas gracias, José.
The young Venezuelan man will go back with his cans and frustration. He is taking no money back home. These are Latin American hot borders. Latin American hot borders. Border between Ecuador and Colombia. Ipiales in Colombia is located in the province of Nariño. This is a border town along the border with Ecuador. The difference in prices between the two countries is good for ant smuggling of various types of products. For Ecuadorians, it is profitable to buy appliances and electronics in Colombia. And for Colombians, it is cheap to buy food, clothes, and construction materials in Ecuador.
Encontramos que venía oculto en el vehículo.
It is a reciprocal business that benefits the citizens of both towns.
Artículos de ferretería. Encontramos 30 unidades, son cantidades comerciales.
En ese momento inicia otro procedimiento para tomar la medida cautelar de aprehensión de esta mercancía.
Like this man, many citizens in the area cross into Ecuador to save up to 30% buying their merchandise there.
No, pues es que tiene que, es que no vean, ahí está la factura, no llega ni a unos 400,000 pesos, no llega.
Because the man exceeds the amount allowed, the customs police retain his items until the owner can provide the receipts and pay the necessary taxes. During a routine inspection, a 70-year-old woman tries to pass into Colombia with 5 bags of clothing. She is confident she can get them in. She usually does. The selling of untaxed clothes on the street is her only way to survive. When the officers are distracted, the woman takes her bags and marches on. One of the police officers notices and stops her. The woman tries to convince the customs agent, but he doesn't give in. He takes away the merchandise that was in excess of the allowed amount for retrieval at a later date.
¿Mandé? ¿Es más barato Colombia? Claro, es más barato.
Son 25 cobijas, ¿no? Ya, denme un ratico un papelito, nos regala una firma y se va.
The lady doesn't protest and leaves with the blankets she's left with. Alone, she carries the load on her shoulder until she gets to her street post 2 kilometers away. Border between Brazil and Paraguay. Friendship International Bridge was built over the Paraná River, a natural border between Brazil and Paraguay. It is 552 meters long and is recognized as one of the most important bridges in Latin America. Paraguay is the main producer of marijuana in Latin America. Brazil, along with Argentina, receives 70% of Paraguay's production. That makes Foz de Iguaçu one of the hottest borders in Latin America. More than 40,000 vehicles pass through every day. 2,500 of them are taxi cabs that will move people and goods inside their cars for a price, and many goods are illegal. During a routine inspection, a Paraguayan taxi is stopped to undergo inspection before gaining entry into Brazil. In front of the agents is a marijuana plant in the back seat of the car. This brings the officers and agents together in one of the oddest and most absurd cases in their careers.
Essa situação aqui é até inusitada, porque a gente costuma pegar a maconha pronta. embalada já para consumo. Agora eu estou aqui há 10 anos, é a primeira vez que nós pegamos essa situação.
Both the taxi driver and his passenger do not seem to be under the impression that they are committing a crime. The officers suspect that the young man is under the effects of drugs.
Você tomou uns goles, cara? Você tomou? Tomou uma cachaça, uma coisa? Você fumou alguma coisa? Você tá sob efeito de entorpecente?
Não, foi normalmente.
Mas você fumou maconha?
Não, não fumei ainda. Foi normal.
Ia fumar? Não deu tempo?
Não ia tomar, não ia fumar.
The young man jokes around. He tells them that it's a plant meant for decor. The officers begin to question the taxi driver.
Você ingeriu bebida alcoólica?
To their surprise, the taxi driver admits to being drunk. Both the driver and the passenger begin to come up with elaborate excuses as to why they are not responsible for their own actions. It is decided that both of them will be detained and will be taken to the prosecutor's office.
Beleza, você Miguel, entenda bem. Como ele diz que não é dele e você diz que não é teu. Então vai ser o delegado que vai dizer de quem é essa droga. Mas ele alega que não é dele. Tá bom? Então se o senhor tem advogado, ligue pro seu advogado. Tá ok? Compreende? Então, o consulado, eles vão conduzir o senhor vai na viatura com eles.
Era muito grande a planta para passar pela fronteira?
Eu não sei, amigo. Vos viste aí que era grande.
The taxi car and the marijuana plant are taken as evidence. These are Latin American hot borders. Latin American hot borders. Border between Chile and Peru. Tacna has a territory of over 16,000 square kilometers. It's one of Peru's smallest departments. It's located in the south of Peru, with the Pacific Ocean to the west, and Bolivia to the east, and Chile to the south. Ever since Peru and the US signed a free trade agreement, Tacna has transformed into a hot border that extends the length of the border between Peru and Chile.
Vamos a realizar un operativo en el poblado de Las Yaras.
Those who engage in contraband here are known as pamperos. They cross on foot or in trucks with illegal merchandise from Chile into Peru. The customs agents have selected 4 groups of 2 by pickup truck to carry out the mission. They need to search along the border for any pamperos trying to bring in illegal merchandise.
Tiene que encontrarse infragante. Por eso es que nosotros tratamos de ir al punto donde ellos están para que ellos no tengan salida de ninguna forma. O sea, plantear una estrategia en la cual ellos se entreguen, porque perseguirlos o hacer una persecución, eso genera capaz una volcadura. Parece que entra algo. Aquí hay unas huellas.
The officers find one of the smugglers' vehicles. They need to be careful not to cause alarm, so the operation doesn't fail.
El que está al frente es el policía.
Para eludir el control aduanero, utilizan vehículos llamados liebres, los cuales ellos son los que primero pasan antes que pase la mercancía de contrabando. Ellos son los que, decimos nosotros, los que peinan el lugar.
El cerro de allá ya nos ganó. Está viniendo, ¿no? Algo grande va a pasar. Vamos a cazarlo. Aquí está, ¿ves? Firma, si tiene mercancía, mira.
The officers detain the truck. Inside were 2 women transporting the contraband, and the officers begin to look through it.
Firma.
The passengers and the trucks will be taken to the control post of Tacna to go through the legal process of confiscating the items.
Todo, sácale todo.
No, pero es igual yo puedo conducir mi carro.
No se preocupe, yo lo
voy a ir con usted.
Yo lo voy a conducir y usted va a ir conmigo, usted va a ir conmigo. No se preocupe.
Señora, el señor...
Yo voy a ir a manejar, yo voy a manejar nomás.
The pamperos smuggle about $1 million a day in clothes and shoes.
Es un caso positivo de mercancía de contrabando en su modalidad de cachina, o sea, ropa de segundo uso de procedencia extranjera. Estaba acondicionada en maletas y estaba yendo por una ruta no habilitada.
Used clothing is sold as new clothes in many places in Peru.
Por acá es muy inusual quedarnos porque nos pueden agredir, pueden salir personas que quieran ayudar a este vehículo.
Bueno, entonces, como dice, algo está prohibido, se va a usar la mercancía y el vehículo, por ser medio de transporte de mercancía prohibida, se va a internar en de transportes por 60 días.
The customs agents know that this case is like many others. The Tacna people risk their freedom to commit these crimes out of economic needs and high unemployment rates in the area.
Quiero que sepan que esto no es un problema pues de una persona, es un problema social. La ropa americana da trabajo a mucha gente.
The agents separate the clothes to weigh it. This way, the officers can know whether the women committed an infraction or a crime.
Cada pasajera llevaba 80 kilos aproximadamente.
These women admit that she has been doing this type of contraband for years, since it's their only means of survival. Regardless, they keep being exploited by those who profit off the needs from the poor. All cases presented in this program are real. The people involved are innocent until proven otherwise. Every day, millions of people cross borders trying to make enough money to survive.
Quiero que sepan que esto es un problema social.
No se lo voy a quitar.
But the main task is to prevent drug trafficking.
Algo grande va a pasar. Vamos a cazarlo.
Money laundering.
Con este paquetico tengo un sueldo mínimo.
The criminals take advantage of the suffering and the desperation of the people in order to conduct business.
Acessórios para celular.
Fumou maconha?
Crime knows no border. But where there is one, police are there to help stop it. These are Latin American hot borders.